Hey friends, it's Jameson. Today we're doing a little compilation of Christmas lights that I've seen over the last few weeks. It's going to be a little messy, a little all over the place, but it's going to be fun. And you're going to want to stick around until the end because there is a house at the end that will blow your mind. We are starting out with a house decorating contest in Benicia, which is just a few minutes from where we live in Vallejo, and this is the first place winner, which it's nice. I'm not sure I really agreed that it was first place worthy. As you'll see, some of the other ones were maybe a little better, like this one. I think this was second place, and I might have given this one first place. I don't know. I don't know if it was the best, but I think it was better than first place in my opinion. You can see they got a lot going on, a lot of blinking lights. And here's third place. And honestly, I think third place might have been my top pick. I'm not sure. It was put on by, I think, a real estate company. So I was kind of like, was there some favoritism here? Like somebody's client maybe got preferential treatment? I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, this one, come on, that's got to be first place. Look at this thing. You gave that third place? I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. This one, I don't even know if this one got, I think this one might have just been one that we saw. This was like an honorable mention or people's choice or something, and honestly, that seemed kind of fitting. It wasn't all that great, but it was, decent, I guess. And now I think we're just driving around the neighborhood looking at ones that weren't featured in the contest. I think you actually had to enter the contest, so there were a lot of houses with nice lights that weren't even in the contest, like this one. I mean, look at that. That's pretty nice. Okay, now we're moving on to a different day. This was the boat parade in Vallejo, which I gotta be honest, I was hyped for, and it kind of let me down. There was like three boats, so that wasn't that great. And then this was on the way home from that. There were some nice lights on Georgia Street, and now here we are on a different day. We're skipping all over the place. We were going to the boat parade in Sausalito. I'm really big on those boat parades. I love them. Some are definitely better than others. The Sausalito one is probably the best, in my opinion, at least from what I've seen. So you can see the boats. It's the only thing about the Sausalito one is there's so many people. It's really hard to get a good vantage point. So we were kind of driving around. This is, I think, the second year we've gone to the boat parade in Sausalito, and here we are, like on the promenade. And in a couple of moments here, you're going to see there's a whole group of people who put lights on their bikes. Here we go, and they ride down the promenade. They were here last year too. I remember seeing them last year, and it's just so cool. Like if I was able and healthy enough, I would ride my bike and put some lights on it. It's pretty fun. So we were looking for a good vantage point, and we ended up finding a good spot, kind of in between Sausalito and Cavallo Point or Fort Mason. So there's a nice little spot there, and then they do the fireworks, which is great. They light off the fireworks from the boats out in Richardson Bay, which is just kind of an offshoot of San Francisco Bay. There had been some pretty big storms in the area leading up to this, and so the whole town of Sausalito was without power, actually, or at least most of it was. But you can see across the bay there in Tiburon and Belvedere where all the rich people live. Like, Sausalito is rich people, but like Tiburon is like $30 million mansions. They still had power. That was interesting. I wonder how that happened. I think the one silver lining of there not being power in Sausalito was you could see the fireworks a little bit better with the darkness. This is at like 2 or 3 times speed, so the fireworks were pretty slow, but it was still a nice treat to get to see that. You might think I'm a little weird, but my favorite part of the fireworks is when the boats blow their horns at the end. Alright, here we are on another day, and this is the most recent adventure that we took. It's the Sunday before Christmas, just a few days before Christmas, and we are headed to the East Bay. We're going to meet up with my Aunt Maureen, and we're going to go down to San Ramon and Pleasanton and Livermore, where I saw some people posting on Instagram about this house that has like a million, like literally a million lights on it. You'll see. It's the house I was talking about at the beginning of the video. It is wild. But first we got to get through this fog. Look how thick this fog is. It was so thick we had to go very slow over this part of the road. And here we are out of the fog in Martinez, stopping by my Aunt Maureen's house. And then we're going to hit the road on down to San Ramon. San Ramon is our first stop. This first neighborhood was a fun neighborhood. It was sort of like that Benicia neighborhood in that most of the houses had some sort of decoration. In fact, I would say that even more houses in this neighborhood had decorations. They really went all out, to the point that they even decorated the stop signs, as you'll see later. Here's that first stop sign I was talking about. Not sure that's legal, but pretty cool. I love it. Here's another stop sign. I like the first one better, but this is still pretty cool. Now here we are moving on to Pleasanton, so this is just a little bit south of San Ramon. These are all sort of suburbs in the East Bay, east of San Francisco, in case anybody is not from the Bay Area watching this. This neighborhood had one really big house, and there was a very long line around the block. You can see here this spinning Christmas tree. But there wasn't much else going on in that neighborhood, so we moved on to Livermore, where there were two very big house light displays. I actually thought that the first one coming up was the one that I had seen on Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, that's really good. I mean, it is really good, but as you'll see, the second one is even better. Okay, here we go, the grand finale. Look at this madness. As you can see, there are several trees. That's like the front of the house. And it's as if each leaf on the tree has its own light. That's how many lights there are. It's ridiculous. And as we get closer, you're going to see the trees in the yard are just the icing on the cake. There are lights on the actual house, but there's so many on the trees that you can't even really see the house, except when you zoom in or you get up close to it, Like the tree lights really overshadow the house itself. But then after you get past the trees, you're going to see there's like this windmill structure over the driveway and the garage. The windmill is like spinning horizontally instead of vertically. It's all really a lot to take in. There were so many people. I mean, this is like Disneyland status. And this is just in the middle of suburban streets. It's really wild, and there was like a whole economy going on around this house. There were vendors like selling tacos and like ice cream and stuff on the streets. They had people directing traffic, who I'm assuming here they are with these flashing lights, that they're like volunteers. I'm still processing and taking it all in. All right, that's it for the holiday season. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.